What's going on, guys? I know this isn't like one of my traditional videos where I open up with my intro. Um, this is kind of a different video or a special video given kind of our present situation. I usually try to keep the channel, positive, and that's why I haven't really been. I've still been pushing out videos, and I haven't really in those videos talked about what's going on currently uh, with COVID-19 and this more recent news with the Black Lives Matter movement, George Floyd situation, and all the kind of rioting and different events that have been going on as of late. Um, First and foremost, RIP George Floyd, RIP Ahmaud Arbery or Ahmaud Arbery. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name. It's unfortunate, really unfortunate circumstance, and it's far too common of a occurrence that exists in our society, really, to where I'm sure you guys have already been seeing or have seen in news the story or the issue behind George Floyd as well as Ahmaud Arbery. Just being that those are some of the more recent. I know there are countless others, and even amidst kind of the ongoings of the outbreaks from this George Floyd case, there have been different deaths and more tragedies going on here and there. And so it's just it's a really troubling time right now. Really troubling time. I hope that for all of you guys watching, that you guys are keeping yourselves safe amidst all this, the rioting and the protesting and the things that are going on. We've got COVID-19 or the coronavirus to deal with on top of this. It's crazy to think that we went from having COVID-19 going on to now having protests and these other events going on amidst COVID-19, when social distancing and all these other, it just seems like it's such a chaotic time. It was already chaotic with this pandemic that we've never seen or that we've never experienced really before, and now on top of that, the consistent problem that we have seen with police brutality has now kind of escalated up to this point. It's really just unfortunate. Something that for me, every time seeing these things in the news, it's just discouraging, and it's I really don't have words for it. Seeing the video, my first thought is just thinking to myself, just why? Like I can't even understand what would compel another human being to do this to another human being. If you're not even going as far as to look at race, but to just look at us as human beings, a human being to another human being, I can't see why one creature would do that to another similar creature or the same creature, the same entity. That's just beyond my comprehension. And so seeing those kind of things, it's just like, wow, like I can't understand it. In terms of the rioting and the protesting that's been going on, like I said, I don't really have it's not my, because you're the difficult, and the thing with the media is they love to spin and twist things and push things to a context, to whatever context fits their narrative. And that's kind of what they're doing with these protests and riots, and using it to benefit their like I said, their narrative or their point of view, where it's all this chaos is because of all this rioting and looting and this and that. And like I said, for me, it's not my responsibility or I don't have the ability to dictate how an individual should process a situation that they've seen or experienced. If what they choose to do, if looting, rioting, protesting is how they choose to react to this situation of police brutality, I'm not one to, I really don't have a right to say, oh, well, no, you guys can't do that, or no, that's not something that, you should be doing. You know, for me, I do my part. There are a lot of different donation efforts out there to support. There are obviously people performing peaceful protests, walking, marching, in many different areas, because this thing is all over the country. And so I do my part, and do what I believe is right, or do what I believe is the just thing to do, because there is something you can do. I agree entirely with the side of we need reform. We need reform. This is way too consistent of a phenomenon. This is way too much of a norm to see this in the news day in and day out. And so I just feel like, we definitely there's a need for reform, and the reason why it's escalated to this point, I feel like, is because people feel like they aren't being heard. I feel like people are feeling like they aren't being heard, and as a result, they're saying, okay, if you're not gonna hear us because protests, marching, peaceful protests, this has been going on for a decade minimum a decade. This has been going on. Protesting is not something that's new, for this movement, for Black Lives Matter. This isn't something that's new. And so the individuals who, how do I say, for lack of a better term, the government, those who serve the people, they have had an opportunity in this decade and before this time to listen to the people, hear what it is that the people are asking for in terms of a resolution to this apparent problem of police brutality. And now what we're seeing is the result of no response to the people's requests. And so it's just a crazy time, but I feel like it's a necessary measure to get the point across and drive it home. Hey, you guys aren't hearing what we're saying, what we're asking for. We're still seeing people's lives being taken on a regular basis or on a common basis, and it needs to stop. This cannot continue to go on. This is the morning time now, but I'll probably have this video uploaded later today, Saturday. But try to, in the Bay Area where I reside, they recently had a curfew set in place to where you couldn't be out past a certain time. At least that's what the county had specified. They've recently released or dropped that released that curfew. And so now people can go out later, but just be safe, take care of yourselves. I advise getting what you need, or what it is that what you need, essentials, during the daytime. If you do go out to protest, ideally try to do it during the daytime, because there's just a lot of craziness that I've seen going on as of recent. This is really a chaotic time right now, and there are other factors at play when it comes to some of these late night events that are going on. Obviously, we have there's those who are protesting in response to the George Floyd incidents, but there are a lot of other groups and individuals out there that are really just seizing this opportunity to further their motives or further their objective, whether that's just to take things just because, oh, well, since they got this movement on, let me go ahead and also go in here and, like I said, get what I need or take what I need since this is already going on. So yeah, just take care of yourselves, do what you can. Still try to stay safe. COVID-19 is going on amidst all of this as well, and so last thing I want to see is, you know, any of you guys, but anybody in general, getting caught with COVID-19, which is still an apparent thing, and yeah, really just not wanting that to progress in and of itself. It feels like we've been in lockdown now, or quarantine now, for started in what, March time, and it's just starting June now. So yeah, it's been going on for a while. Well, I don't want this video to drag on too long. Thank you guys for listening in. For those of you guys who were here, yeah, just be safe. Do what you can out there. Stay safe with both Corona as well as the events that are going on, the protesting and things like that. And just do what you can. I will, for those of you guys that want to stay on, I'll leave the last minute of this video. I'm going to dedicate to just having a moment of silence for the deaths of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and many of the other individuals that have kind of lost their lives to police brutality. You guys are welcome to stay in if you so choose. Thank you guys. I'll be back to the regular uploads Monday, and we'll be back on schedule.